Are you ready for Sunday school, kids?
Okay. Hi, welcome to St. Thomas. My name's Marilee, and you'll never guess what I'm doing right now. I am getting ready. I am preparing for Christmas. I bet you've seen lights up outside already in some of the houses, and some people are already decorating their house. I think I'll decorate myself a little more. I'm so excited Christmas is coming. You hear Christmas music on the radios and all kinds of people rushing about and catalogs coming to the house that you're going through, picking out what you'd like. We're preparing for Christmas. Did you remember what Christmas is? Christmas is all about Jesus. It's his birthday. It is. And we can celebrate that with candy canes. Whoops, sorry. Dropped my candy cane. Candy canes are a symbol of shepherds. That's like their shepherd crook. And if you turn it around this way, you'll see that it's the letter J for Jesus. That's one reason why we use candy canes. And also, we put wreaths on our door. And a wreath, it kind of reminds us of the crown of thorns that Jesus wore on the day that he died. But we celebrate his life and the message that he brought us. So we put this up on our doors. And then we have, of course, we need Christmas trees. Christmas trees are living things like Jesus is still alive. And they remind us that Jesus is still growing and is growing in our hearts and bringing love to everybody. And trees are around the world, and trees clean the air, and trees do all kinds of wonderful things, just the way that Jesus did when he came. He brought lots of wonderful things to us. We're getting ready for Christmas. We're getting prepared for when he comes. 2,000 years ago, when Jesus was born, they didn't have TVs or radios or computers or anything technical or any way to send a message to anybody except by walking. So if I learned something really amazing and I wanted to tell everybody, I would have to walk all the way to Richmond or all the way to Canada. I would have to walk and walk and walk and go to a park and stand up on a big stepping stool or something and say, "Listen, everybody, I've got some wonderful news. The baby Jesus was born in Bethlehem. Wow." And people would start gathering around because they had nothing to do. They couldn't watch TV. There wasn't any TV. And the only way they could get news was to come to the park and listen to people telling them. So they'd all gather around. And that's the way it was back then. They had to send the message that Jesus was born by going out and around. They became messengers. The first messengers actually came from heaven. Do you remember who the first messengers were? Angels. Angels were the first messengers. God sent them to the shepherds out in the field. They were just sitting there looking after their sheep like usual when the sky filled with all of these angels singing songs and telling them, "The baby is born, go and see the baby." At first they were afraid because they'd never seen angels before, but then when they saw how much love there was, they thought, "We've got to go see this." And they did. They went to Bethlehem, they found the stable, they found the manger, and they found the baby wrapped in swaddling clothes, just like the angels told them. And they were so excited and so that, you know what? They became the second messengers. And they went out through Bethlehem telling everybody about this amazing baby that was born in a stable, in a barn. Wow. And then those people started to go out and tell their friends. And then it went from town to town. So everybody was starting to learn about this baby being born. And now that you know the message, you have become a messenger too. So when you know all about the baby Jesus and what he grew up to be, our Savior, our way into heaven, and that he wants us to love one another. Now that's the best message ever. And if you can take that message out into your world, then you are doing God's work. And that's what Christmas is all about, giving love to everybody all around us. Let's say a little prayer. Dear God, we thank you for this special time of year and its important meaning to us. We praise you for keeping your promise and sending Jesus. and promising that he will come again. And we ask for your blessing on all of us this Christmas time. And we pray that you will send Jesus soon. Amen. Hi, we're in God's garden now, ready to do our crafts for the day. We've got 2 crafts to do, but for the first one I'm going to do 2 of them, one an easy version and one a little bit trickier. And then we're going to make a lamb as well. And these are all decorations you can hang on your tree. Okay? This one says, Happy Birthday, Jesus. And this one says, Happy Birthday, Jesus on one side and is decorated on the other side. So we're going to start off by making these, and then I'll show you how to make this lovely little lamb that you can hang on your tree too. The first thing you're going to need is a piece of construction paper, a full-size piece of construction paper, but you're going to cut off about 3 inches off of one side. Okay, this one we're going to make into this one here. So we'll do that one first, okay? So you're going to fold it in half. And you're going to take a pencil, and on the folded edge, which is the top here, you're going to draw 2 little lines, because that's going to be the part that we're going to use for hanging it. And then you can make any shape you want, but try to fill up the whole part. I made like a teardrop sort of, but you can make a circle or a square or whatever you'd like to do. And then when we cut that out, we're going to use a little piece of pipe cleaner or the chenille sticks there, and some decorations. Okay, so then when you open it, they're both the same. So when you close it, you're going to glue them together, and then you're going to use the top part to put just a little piece like this through it. Okay, so I'm going to put some glue on there, and then we're going to just use some markers or some glitter or whatever you'd like to use for yours. You can use stickers, anything like that. And then it's ready to hang up on your Christmas tree. Okay, so I think maybe I'll just draw a few stars on there to remind me of the stars in the sky when the shepherds were looking up at the angels. Lots and lots of stars in the sky. And on the other side, I think I'll do one big star in the middle, because there was that one big star, and make it look like it's shining. But you can do whatever you want on yours too. Okay? I have some glitter here too, which I will use on the big one, but you can use it on the small one too. So we'll put that one aside just for now until I get the glitter out. And we'll start making the second one. You'll need exactly a square piece of paper. That's why we cut 3 inches off, to make it exactly square. Then you're going to fold it in half, fold it in half again, and fold it in half one more time. So you will notice that all the folded sides are here, and all the single edge sides are here. So using the side with all the folded edges, we're going to do something similar we did to that one, only we're going to do it a little bit differently. I'll use a marker so you can see a bit better. I'm going to draw a straight line down from the folded edge down onto the folded edge here. So the folded edges are together. And then I'm going to make a big circle, but only half of the circle. Kind of looks like an apple. Okay, so it's only half of the circle. Then I'm going to cut it out. All right. So what is going to happen now is that you're going to have 4 pieces that are identical. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so this one we're going to leave this part on because we want it to stay there. But on this one, we don't need to leave this on because we don't need two parts sticking up. So I'm going to cut that off of one of them. Now I'm going to use a little bit of glue and I'm going to start sticking them together. Okay, so this doesn't want to come apart here. It's there somewhere. Got it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on here, on only half of it, and put that one again. Open this up, put a little bit of glue on this side only, and then I'm going to glue this piece onto that piece. Okay, and I'm going to open that up again, put a little bit of glue onto this side, and I'm going to glue this piece onto it. Hopefully this is going to work. So I've got all those pieces glued together. All I need now is to glue the last piece together, which are these two here. One more little bit of glue to glue those pieces together. And we have a four-sided Christmas ornament that you can write on or decorate in any way you want to. This part up here was left especially so that we could put a pipe cleaner through, like we did the other one, so we could hang it on the tree easily. All right, so I am going to write on here with some purple. I have a glitter pen, I like this pen. I'm going to write joy on this one. And I'm going to turn the page like it was a book. And I'm going to write to on this one. Turn the page like it was a book. To. And I'm going to write the. And the last page I'm going to write world. Does that remind you of a song? Joy to the world. There we are. So this says joy to the world. And then you can decorate it with markers, with glitter. I'm going to put some glitter on it. I like using glitter. I use this little piece here because I can pour the glitter back into the bottle. So I'll use that piece to sort of catch the glitter that's not used. So I'm going to put just a few dabs of glue on my pictures and sprinkle some sparkles on them. And there's always some left over when you do this. So that's what I'm going to pour it into here. Because this is bent at an angle. And I can just pour it back into my bottle and use some more. So already it's starting to look very festive. And then you can draw it with different colors. Maybe you can make some little holly leaves. Or some flowers. Or some smiling faces. You can do anything you want on your glitter Christmas decoration. And then when you hang it on the tree, it can spin around and say, joy to the world. Or it can say, happy birthday, Jesus. You can make it especially your own. And then you can make some more. And you can give them away to grandparents and aunts and uncles. They would just love it. All right. Our second craft today is a little bit trickier, but it's lots of fun to do. We're going to make a little lamb like this. So the first thing you're going to need is a styrofoam ball. You can get those at the dollar store. You're going to need some cotton balls. You're going to need 2 wobbly eyes, or you can just cut out circles out of a piece of paper, and a shape like this, sort of like this. You could make like an oval shape and put 2 little ears on it to be the face of the lamb. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the wobbly eyes on here first, because I want it to have a little bit of time to dry. So it can be drying while I'm doing the rest of it. Okay. Go. And I'll put it off to the side for a few minutes so that it can dry. And then I will put that on at the end. All right, so for the ball, I'm going to put 4 holes in the bottom to make space for the legs. So I'm going to start off using just a pencil just to make the spots in the right places that I want and to give a good start for the pipe cleaners that I'm going to use. So I've got 4 holes started there, and then I'll take about 2 inches of these and just stick them in so they're nice and snug. There we go. And there we go. Now let's see if it'll stand up. Oh, it does. Very good. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take those cotton balls. And if you just glued them on like this, they would just look like cotton balls. We want it to look soft and fluffy. So we're going to pull it apart in little pieces like this so that it will become very soft and very fluffy looking. Okay, so you'll need probably about 6 cotton balls, and I've already pulled some apart here. So we're all ready to start gluing it on. Okay, so, oh, it's so much fun. All right, so the way I like to do it is I'll just do cover half of it with glue so that I can hold on to the other half. So I'll bring my glue up a little closer, and I'm going to start putting glue on just half of it. All the way around. And some in the middle. Okay, so now I can start adding a little bit of fluff here, and a little bit here, and a little bit over here, and a little bit over here. You can see how it's starting to look fluffy. There we go. And I've got some more to put here. All right, so I have half of it done. Now I'm going to turn it around so I can hold on to the fluffy half now, and put some glue on the rest of it. You might need a little bit of help with this, just to make sure you got enough glue and that you're not getting it all over your fingers. But it's always washable. There we go. So a little bit of fluff over here, and a little bit here. Is it starting to look like a lamb? It's going to be really cute hanging on your Christmas tree. Again, you could make 2 or 3 or 4 of these and give them away to your friends and family because they're so cute. All right, so now we have a cotton ball. Looks like a sheep. All right, so we're ready for the last piece, well, almost the last piece. So we're going to put the face on the front, and then you'll be sure that it's a lamb. All right, put that on there. Now the last thing I did on this one is I put 1 more on the top, because you could make it into a hook to hang on your tree. So I have sort of a white one so it doesn't show up too much. And it will just stick in very easily into that styrofoam ball. There you go. And then you just have to make it into a little hook. And there we have a couple of little lambs, just like the shepherds were looking after on the night that Jesus was born. Okay, we're going to sing a song now about the shepherds watching their sheep. Our song right now is called While Shepherds Watch Their Flocks by Night. If you know it, sing along with me, okay? Or maybe get your mom and dad to help you learn the song. It's one we sing a lot at Christmas time. While shepherds watched their flocks by night, all seated on the ground, an angel of the Lord came down, and glory shone around. Fear not, said he, for mighty dread had seized their troubled minds. Glad tidings of great joy I bring to you and humankind. I'll see you next week.